Please do not shave my hair. I'm innocent. I don't even know the man. Don't worry, my dear. By the time we finish shaving your hair, you will be like the rest of us, bald. Laughter. In a village where no woman could grow hair, one girl was born with long hair. They hated her for it, not knowing she was their only hope. Once upon a time, there lived a village known as the Bald Village. At first glance, the village looked ordinary. Mud houses stood in neat rows. Narrow footpaths connected homes to farms and streams. Children ran barefoot, chasing one another in the dust. Elders sat under the older cocoa tree every evening, sharing stories of the past. But there was something strange about the Bald Village. Every woman there was bald. From the day a female child was born, no hair ever grew on her head. Not as a baby, not as a child, not as a grown woman. Generation after generation, the women of the village remained bald. It had been that way for so long that no one questioned it anymore. Baldness was their identity. Boldness was their fate. Then one day, fate broke its own rule. Her name was Zara. The day Zara was born, fear entered the village. The midwives screamed when they saw her. One of them nearly dropped the baby. Tiny strands of black hair covered the child's head, thick and full, shining under the lantern light. It was something none of them had ever seen before. Before anyone could ask questions or seek answers, tragedy struck. Zara's mother died immediately after giving birth. Her body grew cold while the baby cried loudly beside her. Confusion filled the hut. Morning came quickly. Barely a month later, Zara's father fell ill. No herbs worked. No prayers helped. He grew weaker by the day until death finally took him as well. By the time Zara was old enough to recognize faces, she had already lost both parents. According to tradition, she was sent to live with her closest relative, her aunt Mama Vio. Maro accepted her, but not with love. Meme Vero had a daughter of her own named Vero, a girl who was bald like every other female in the village. From the very first day Zara entered the hut, Mama Vero felt a sharp pain in her heart. The child she took in had something her own daughter would never have: hair. As Zara grew, her hair grew with her. It became long, thick, and shiny. It fell down her back like a royal cloth. Whenever she walked, people turned to look. Whenever she bent her head, sunlight danced on her hair. The women of the village noticed. Some admired her openly. "Zara, your hair is beautiful." They would say, "Your hair looks like a blessing." Others admired her quietly, smiling, while sadness sat heavy in their hearts. But some did not admire her at all. Mama Vio watched Zara closely every day. Each time she saw Zara combing her hair by the fire, something bitter stirred inside her. Her own daughter often sat nearby watching silently, her smooth head shining. Comparison filled that hut. And comparison turned into hatred. Despite everything, Zara remained gentle. She helped with chores. She fetched water from the stream. She greeted elders politely. She never spoke back. Even when Mama Vio treated her badly, the villagers could not help but like her. Then came the day that changed everything. The oracle called the village together. Everyone gathered at the sacred grove. Drums stopped beating. Conversations ended. The oracle stepped forward, leaning on her carved staff. Though her eyes were clouded with age, her voice was strong. "The curse will end," the oracle said. The people gasped. "The one who carries what was taken shall rise," she continued. "She shall become queen. She shall marry the prince of the kingdom. Through her purity, the curse shall be broken." Fear and excitement filled the air. "The girl with hair," the oracle said clearly. "She is the chosen one." All eyes turned to Zara. Her legs shook. Her heart raced. Mere Vero froze. The elders reminded the people of the curse that had placed the village in this condition. Many years ago, a woman lost her husband. Instead of helping her, the villagers accused her of killing him. They dragged her to the village square, shaved her hair, beat her, and humiliated her. They banished her from the village. As she left in tears, she turned back and cursed them. "You have taken my dignity," she cried. "I curse you today. You will become bald from generations after generations." And so it happened. Now Zara stood as hope. But hope can also be a threat. Every praise Zara received made Mama Vio angrier. Each time people spoke of the future queen, jealousy burned deeper inside her. She knew one thing. If Zara lost her purity, she would lose everything. That was when Mama Vio made her decision. One evening, Zara returned from the stream. She was tired and thirsty. Mama Vio handed her a drink, smiling sweetly. "Drink this," she said. "You must be exhausted." Zara drank. Her vision blurred. Her body grew heavy. She collapsed into darkness. And that night, Zara's destiny began to fall apart. Zara woke up suddenly to loud shouting. At first, the voices confused her. Her head felt heavy, her eyes burned, and her body felt weak, as if strength had been drained from her. She tried to sit up, but before she could understand what was happening, a sharp pain hit her shoulder. A stone. Another followed, striking her leg. Zara screamed. She opened her eyes fully and realized she was surrounded. Men, women, children, they stood in a tight circle around her, shouting loudly, their voices filled with anger and disgust. "Abomination! Immoral girl! She has brought shame upon us." Zara pushed herself up slightly, fear filling her heart. "What is happening?" she cried. "Why are you shouting at me?" No one answered her. Another stone hit her back. Someone else spat near her feet. Zara looked around wildly, confused and terrified. She had gone to the stream earlier. She had returned home tired. Her aunt had given her a drink. That was the last thing she remembered. She looked down. Her clothes were still on her body. She was not naked. She was not touching anyone. Yet the people shouted as if she had committed a terrible crime. "I did nothing." Zara cried loudly. "I swear by my life. I did nothing wrong," but the crowd did not want to hear her voice. "She was found with a man." Someone shouted. "She is not pure," another screamed. Zara shook her head desperately. "I do not know any man," she cried. "I was alone. I only drank water and slept." Her words were drowned by noise. As the shouting continued, Mama Vio and her daughter Vio returned from the farm carrying baskets on their heads. They stopped when they saw the crowd gathered around their hut. Mio dropped her basket and rushed forward. "What is happening here?" she asked loudly. The villagers quickly explained. They spoke fast and angrily. They told her that a man had been seen lying beside Zara. They said Zara was found unconscious. They said she had disgraced the village. They said the future queen had broken the law of purity. Mamaro did not ask questions. She did not look at Zara closely. She did not pause to think. She believed them immediately. Mamaro shook her head slowly, pretending to be shocked. "Ah," she said, clicking her tongue. "This is terrible. Very terrible." Zara crawled toward her aunt, tears streaming down her face. "Auntie, please," she cried. "I did not do this. I drank the water you gave me and slept. I do not know anything else." Mama Vio pulled her wrapper tighter and stepped back. "If you are innocent," she said coldly, "why would a man be found beside you?" Zara shook her head violently. "I do not know him," she cried. "I swear I do not know him." Mio turned to the crowd. "This is shameful," she said. "If she has truly done this, then she has stained all of us." The villagers murmured loudly in agreement. Mama Vo's eyes darkened. "There is only one punishment for this," she continued. "Her hair must be shaved." The crowd erupted. "Yes, shave her hair. Let her be like the rest of us." Zara froze. Her heart stopped. She raised her hands to her head, shaking. "No," she screamed. "Please do not shave my hair. I did not do this. Please." Mio did not hesitate. She stepped forward, grabbed Zara roughly by the arm, and pulled her to the ground. Another woman joined her. Zara struggled, screaming and crying, but they were stronger. "Auntie, please." Zara cried. "Have mercy on me." Mama Vio ignored her. She held Zara's head firmly while the other woman brought out a sharp blade. Zara felt the cold metal touch her scalp. She screamed. She begged. She cried until her voice cracked. Please, I am innocent. She cried. Please. But they did not listen. Mmavo pressed her down harder. The blade moved. Strands of Zara's long hair fell to the ground. With each stroke, Zara felt something tear inside her. Her heart broke with every cut. Tears ran freely down her face as her hair dropped in heavy clumps onto the dusty ground. The crowd watched. Some shouted in approval. Some turned away. Some watched silently, their faces unreadable. When it was finally over, Zara's head was bare. Her scalp burned. Her body shook. She collapsed on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. Mmavo stood up slowly, breathing heavily. Inside her heart, satisfaction filled her like warm fire. It is done, she told herself. Let us see how a bald girl will become queen. The crowd soon dispersed. By morning, the village had moved on. Zara was no longer greeted. No one praised her anymore. Children pointed at her and whispered. Women avoided her path. Men looked at her with judgment. She stayed inside the hut. She stopped singing. She stopped smiling. She stopped dreaming. At night, she cried silently, holding her bald head and asking the ancestors why they had abandoned her. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then something unexpected happened. One morning, Zara touched her head absent-mindedly and felt something strange, something rough. She touched again tiny strands of hair. She gasped. The next day, there were more. Within weeks, her hair was clearly growing again. The village noticed. Whispers spread like wildfire. How is her hair growing? She was shaved for immorality. She should be bald forever. What Mmavo did not know was an ancient truth, one that existed even before the curse. In the bald village, when a woman's hair was shaved falsely for immorality, her hair would begin to grow again within weeks. Only a truly guilty woman would remain bald forever. Fear entered Mmavo's heart. She stopped sleeping well. She avoided people's eyes. She knew the truth was catching up with her, and it did. The king heard everything. Soon guards arrived. Mmavo, her daughter, and the women involved were summoned to the palace. The king's anger shook the hall. Then the man who was paid to lie beside Zara was brought forward. He confessed. Mmavo fell to her knees. The truth was exposed. Zara was cleared. Justice was served. And as Zara prepared to marry the prince, Mmavo and her daughter worked under the sun carrying water and firewood for the wedding. They tried to stop. As Zara stood in royal cloth, her hair flowing once again. On the wedding day, drums filled the air. Zara stood beside the prince, radiant and calm. As the drums sounded, the procession began. Zara walked gracefully, her head held high, her steps firm and proud. The villagers watched in silence, a mixture of awe and shame in their eyes. When she reached the throne, the prince took her hand. Together, they knelt before the king, who blessed the union and declared that Zara was now the rightful queen, the one destined to lift the curse of boldness. At that moment, something remarkable happened. Women across the village began to notice tiny strands of hair sprouting on their heads. At first, it was only a whisper, but within hours, the growth was undeniable. Baldness, the ancient curse that had haunted them for generations, began to disappear. The people gasped in wonder. Her hair, her innocence. It healed us all, someone whispered. And indeed, the prophecy had been fulfilled. Zara, pure and unbroken, had broken the curse simply by the being herself. Meanwhile, Mmavo and Vo could only watch in disbelief. Their hands, rough and calloused from labor, trembled as they carried buckets of water and firewood. They wanted to hide, to vanish, but the palace doors were closed, and their tasks demanded their presence. Every time Zara smiled or laughed with the prince, Mmavo felt a stab of regret that she could not escape. She had tried to destroy Zara, and yet Zara had risen above it all. The celebration continued late into the evening. Music, laughter, and singing filled the palace and spilled into the village. For the first time in decades, the bald village knew joy. Mothers hugged their daughters and felt the soft hair growing on their heads. Girls ran through the streets, laughing and tossing their hair, discovering a part of themselves that had been denied for generations. Zara, now a queen, did not celebrate alone.